I have known the person we call Dr. Edward Mantill for many years, and when you know someone this long you begin to think of them as a friend. Like many of you think of your friends, when they travel out of town, you worry about them. In Edward's case he really travels out of town, from parallel jumps to chronesthesia or mental time travel to padded white rooms. When working on book 2 of the I'm a physicist at Cern, we've done something we shouldn't have done. Just for future reference, we're calling book 2 The Physicists, and the first story should drop sometime next week. It's not late, time is just a funny thing. Now back to this part of a very long story. I found a few old notes covering mental health and time travel. Personally, I have always wondered if the Newcomb's paradox, or what we call jokingly the Army of the 12 Monkeys paradox. The simplest and by far the most consistent explanation for everything that happens in the 12 Monkeys is that there is exactly one timeline which cannot be altered. However, Edward has informed me many times there are many timelines. And I and he have met many times, and that the stories, videos, and paranoid times has existed in each, and that this is the reason he had to be my friend. The videos are meant for a group of people. This could be you, dear listener. Just by listening, by seeing, you are affecting a very strange future. The videos are also meant as reminders, and keys for Edward. This helps him recall what or where he is. I have always wondered, because this form of time travel and parallel jumps are dangerous. According to Edward, no matter where he goes, the growth of technology at Cern stops. At some point, mother and father become obsessed with star power. In near distinct future, Cern begins to cycle up their power, affecting weather patterns. It begins to snow during the summer, water spouts appear in strange places, dazzling blue lakes begin to form in Antarctica. This affects your mind to move between points. In the early experiments, Edward explains he slipped back in time to 1869. There he was locked away for the first time by a Dr. Mackenzie Bacon at Cambridgeshire County Asylum, now Fulbourn Hospital, located near Cambridge, England. Dr. Bacon had many interviews with Edward during this time. Luckily for us, there is something of a record. Edward created a system to help him remember. See the drawing. Edward ensured the good doctor had this book printed and published so he could find it when it was needed. For reference, there are 2 books. The first is called On the Writing of the Insane, printed in 1870. And the second, The Diagrammatic Writings of an Asylum Patient, printed in 1870. Bacon goes on to explain that the man, after leaving the asylum, went to work at his trade, and, by steady application, succeeded in arriving at a certain degree of prosperity, but some 2 or 3 years later he began to write very strangely again, and had some of his odd productions printed, yet all this time he kept at work, earned plenty of money, conducted his business very sensibly, and would converse reasonably. Of course he did. This only lasts for a short time. Before leaving, Edward decided to write the doctor a letter, as he asked I publish it here for all to see and as a key for him. You can thank me later, Edward. Dear doctor, to write or not to write, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to follow the visit of the great Fulbourn with chronic melancholy expressions of regret, withheld when he was here, that, as the fates would have it, we were so little prepared to receive him, and to evince my humble desire to do honor to his visit. My Fulbourn star, but an instant seen, like a meteor's flash, a blank when gone. The dust of ages covering my little sanctum parlor room, the available drapery to greet the doctor, stowed away through the midst of the regenerating, water and scrubbing cleanliness next to godliness, political and spiritual, cleansing of a little world. The great physician walked, bedimmed by the dark ages, the long passage of Western enterprise, leading to the curvatures of rising Eastern morn. The rounded configuration of lunar gardens lives an o'ershadowment on Britannia's vortex. Sadly, when you're stuck in one place or another, one must fake their own death, so their impact on time is little to none. As Bacon recounts, in the course of another year he had some domestic troubles, which upset him a good deal, and he ended by drowning himself one day in a public spot. Look for the new story soon, and we thank all who has took this ride with us. Are these stories for you? Stay paranoid, my friends.